This is Just Amazon on Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. Taking a look at the 5 minute here. We opened up today down, pretty significant gap down, which makes us a bearish gap and go. It didn't go bearish though. Put in a really nice hammer um, and just ran up. You really could have traded this bullish for the first 25 minutes. I think I said something like that yesterday too. It just ran up for the first 25 minutes, went sideways for like hours, and then finally broke down later. Um, and there was a bit of a false breakout bullish here. So when this was going sideways here, we were losing a lot of value in the calls. Then they got a little bit of an uptick here. This is the 3,300 call, same one as yesterday, and the 3,300 put, same one as yesterday. Just thought I'd continue that kind of comparison there. So this was going sideways in the daily, and we got a little bit of an uptick on the call, on the sorry, not the daily, on the stock. A little bit of an uptick on the call, and all day long the puts were really just losing value. It was just going down a little bit, even though this was just really holding sideways, really consolidating. And even when it got this little uptick here, it did start to break out. And this was a false breakout. It obviously didn't continue, came right back into this little consolidation here, and then ultimately broke down. When it did that, it moved really quickly down. And you saw that move reflected in puts, went sideways for a little bit here, sideways here. And that was this same area. So as it was going sideways here, that was the price that was retesting basically the low of the call option. And you really could have been getting into a put still at this area. It pulled back a little bit, gave you a nice entry, but it's hard to get $100 risk on the 3,100 put at this point because it's so much closer. We're all the way just 50 points away. So we can take another look. Let me clear this out. And if we look at the 3050 put today and see what that did. So at that same price, let me get this set up. I was trying to decide whether to just start the video at this one, and I thought it'd be easier to jump over to it this way. So and keep the 3,100 to start out. So anyway, this same area here where it's going sideways on the call and it's consolidating on the stock, it really did pull back a little bit. And so it pulled back into this candle, this being just a really nice breakdown candle, bearish candle here, and then went sideways for 25 minutes. That keeps coming up, 25 minutes. Over the next 25 minutes here, you actually had a little bit of some pullbacks into the same price area. So, it came down to a low here of 435, low here of 444. Really could have been setting this up 5 by 4. And I'd be comfortable with that because if it breaks up, if it breaks up, if it reverses and bounces here, it's going counter trend. Let's get stopped out at 4. Great. But if it continues lower and it's showing that maybe it's got a little more momentum to continue, then a really nice target would be the high of the day or the open here. Almost made it up to 10. So that would have been getting it at 5, stop at 4, target at 10. And that would be just coming right back down to the low, which it pretty much did that on the stock. Didn't quite get there on the option. Obviously, it didn't get to 10. It got to 9. Actually, no, it didn't get to 9. 895, really close. So as you're getting to the end of the day, you'd be closing your position for just a day trade. Even this quick run up here, probably just setting that to 2R, maybe 3R. If you're watching it, you could have it set or be trailing your stop. So again, like I said yesterday, moving your stop from 4 to 5, from 5 to 6, and then here you get stopped out at 6. So maybe that's only an R if you did that, or it could have, if you were quick enough, maybe you could have moved it up to 7 and got stopped out as this candle starts. So just a really nice play, bearish. The play bullish, again, using the 3,300 call. You had the whole 5 minute candle here. You could have waited to get this set up, or getting it set up during the candle. Either going with like 350 by 250 or 325 by 225. There's your $100 risk. And it would have filled on this candle. Now, if you're a little slower and you looked for a pullback, the low here was 340. that would not have filled obviously at 325, hopefully would have been filled at 350, and that would have made it up to 550. And so that would have been a play on the first 25 minutes here, or 30 minutes actually, to get up to 550. So that would have been, getting into the call right at the open or after the 5 minute, or having it set up in the first 5 minutes, letting it run. And just because it's a really nice hammer, it's a really nice hammer. It's really where it opened was right near, this candle's low, which could have been a support from, earlier this week. That would have worked. And yeah, just see if that goes counter trend, goes for a fade, even to just kind of scalp an R out of that to go from, maybe 350 up to 450 would have been still a nice trade going counter trend. And then looking for this to go and roll over. Like I said, it took hours. It took, all day or all morning and then into the afternoon for it to finally roll over. There was a couple things in here that I thought were setting up to do something and just didn't. Switch. I got the right trend tool. So this, maybe I should go back to the straight line. This was a really nice triangle here. Looked like it was breaking down, retested, and then started to go. And it really didn't amount to too much because it only came back down to really the bottom of the triangle here. And then that just went sideways all day. So really it was waiting for this all day long. You had a little bit of indication with the squeeze here, but sometimes that, that does something and it doesn't actually move. So yeah, it just didn't work out today to take the earlier squeeze. It would have worked on the later one and ended up going bearish. But like we just talked about, you would have needed to wait to kind of catch that pullback on the option or just jump right in. And it's hard to do that when you have $100 risk to put up. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow, and hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.